Merry Christmas time. Happy holidays. If you don't know where that statement is from, Trixie and Katya, you know what I'm talking about? It's my favorite show of all time. That's it. Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today's video, first of all, let's talk about the foot in the room. I went out and I actually came across something. I saw finger hands, and then I saw a foot hand, and I was like, oh, I'm bringing them in. I'm bringing them into the videos. I gotta do it. Like this hand and foot, like we have hand and foot. I don't know how I'm gonna use it, but this is fun. Anyways, let's get back to business. Today's video, we are reacting to a Zoom call today. I'm so excited. Somebody sent me this one over. I can't wait to dive into it. There's a lot that we're gonna be going into, but yeah, let's not waste time and let's get into this. So before I hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so that way you be notified of every single video I post. And yeah, my vlog channel, podcast, and everything else is down in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go. Okay, so I hecked up a tiny bit. I thought that this was a Zoom call. Okay, so somebody sent this to me. I thought it was a Zoom call. My bad. Okay, whoa. We have to reintroduce this. This is a video from a previous Young Living promoter, apparently. Oh, buckle up. This is going to be fascinating.
What's up, everybody? Gonna let a few people get tuned in. We are live. It is Tuesday. All right, we have a few viewers, so here we go. It is with heavy heart that I am making this statement. Unfortunately, for nearly 2 years, Young Living has pursued legal action against me and will simply not let me walk away and earn a living. They are determined to make an example out of me, and at this point, I cannot sit silently anymore. There is so much misinformation about me and my relationship with Young Living that it is time to clarify. Here.
I'm going to quickly pause this and say this just started off in the way that I did not expect. What I usually think with these is there's many times where people who leave MLMs experience major problems. Like they will be shunned, they'll be mistreated, they can even be threatened with legal action. Some people have actually been sued by their MLM before. It's a very vicious and dangerous cycle, and exactly why I hate MLMs, because even people who want to get out sometimes are not exactly safe from it, which is really alarming. So I will actually quickly state, I actually did a deep dive a good long time ago about Young Living. It was a while ago, I'm gonna be honest, but Young Living, again, is a multi-level marketing company that is about essential oils. It was actually founded by a man who allegedly killed his own child, so keep that in mind. Wife is helping running Young Living. Nonetheless, though, the MLM has a major problem of promoting false information in regard to health. They've even encouraged people to ingest essential oils, which is not okay, and just a lot of other things involved with it. And many people have actually left the company because of how culty and weird it is, and I think we're gonna be actually seeing that here in the rest of this video.
Is my story. I enrolled as a distributor of Young Living in late 2013, and for several months aimed to grow a business. The maximum rank I ever reached with Young Living was Senior Star. When I saw that the director of global education quit Young Living in 2014, I immediately approached my diamond for an introduction to the executives for an interview. I was on a plane within 48 hours to fly to Utah to interview for the position, which I, at the time, described as my dream job. I was offered the position on the spot and signed the contract with tears in my eyes, and I told the human resources director that I would someday retire from this company. During the interview, I was asked by the chief operating officer if I was willing to give up my pursuit of Royal Crown Diamond and place emphasis on being an employee, and I agreed. I was then instructed by Mary Young to never give up my downline and that it would continue to grow despite me. I have since discovered that this is not the case.
Wow! Seriously though, let's talk about this. So here's a big problem that I have right now with MLMs. Mary Young is the person that is running the MLM apparently. That she's saying how she had a really great opportunity shared to her, and then she was apparently going to keep her downline, not give it up. So this again is why I truly believe that Young Living is a pyramid scheme. This is what she experienced, this is what she was told to do, and to not let go of her downline because it would just grow and manifest even without her there. And apparently from what I could see, she could possibly make money off of it still, which yeah, that's what some people I've heard do, is maybe they don't put as much effort per se into their MLM, but they still hold their downline because that's the biggest money maker for them.
In network marketing, your organization will not grow unless you work. Had I ignored this advice, Young Living would have little to no grounds to pursue legal action against me, as they are attempting to hold me under the same distributor agreement that every wholesale partner signs. When the FDA threatened Young Living in 2014 for claims that the products could treat Ebola, I painstakingly worked on reviving the reputation of the company.
The fact that in 2014 they marketed out their products to protect you from Ebola, and people still want it, like, don't join this.
By taking a pivotal role in the Say This, Not That campaign and sharing Young Living the right way. I also worked on the claims substantiation committee, and this was difficult work as few of the products had claims that could be thoroughly substantiated.
Oh my God, I can't get up. Most of their products could not be substantially supported with evidence. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about when they say that their products are better. Majority of the time in MLMs, that's not the case because there's stuff that cannot be scientifically backed. And when a company will deny statistics about the multi-level marketing company, what makes anyone think that their products are going to be exempt from that type of thought process as well? The products are not going to be treated as something of significance, even if people are ingesting it, as they've literally pushed and promoted on their YouTube channels. Like, oh my God.
This past year, when Young Living was sent another letter from the FDA, it named someone that I genuinely thought was a friend and who I genuinely care about. I reached out to them simply to say this has to be tough. And she told me that my behavior, recruiting for another MLM more than 2 years after my separation from Young Living, was disgusting. And this was just the beginning of the ostracization that I faced from field leadership.
I know I'm stopping this a lot, but there is a lot to unpack here. And this is why these types of videos are so significant and why I thoroughly applaud people for speaking out. I don't know if this woman's still in an MLM or not. Again, like, I really hope not. But I also know it's hard to break the cycle of being a part of an MLM. What I will say, though, is this is very, very big because the fact that she was a part of a different MLM and the cult mentality was just so involved with that person that she reached out to where they got disgusted with her for recruiting for another MLM, even though she had nothing to do with Young Living still. That's a big red flag. That's very, very sad. But we see that all of the time in this company.
Young Living has still not learned their lesson because at the time of writing of this statement, one of their diamonds still has on their Instagram how to use Detoxzyme and multigreens as so-called Rona support. When a field member reached out to Young Living's conduct department and expressed concerns about Young Living's website being non-compliant, she was told to always respond with, Young Living always tries to keep their website current, but when in doubt, reach out to conduct. At one gold retreat, I attempted to help a Royal Crown Diamond with a history of not being able to stay on FDA messaging and was instructed by one of Young Living's attorneys to take notes on what Gary had said from stage. Reporting back on what I saw and heard that day resulted in me being removed from all stage presentations at convention and ultimately required me to make the choice of being fired or transferred to our London.
Wow, I feel for her. Like, I have chills from that. That is devastating. The fact that somebody who, and this is exactly what I think, you cannot truly go about MLMs ethically. Now, many people are involved with MLMs and they are unknowingly doing unethical actions. Some people are part of it. No. What I will say, though, is it's impossible to do it ethically because there are people who will fight to change it, who will try and do things better, who will try and really support people that they recruited. But at the end of the day, numbers are numbers and cults are cults. That's how it is. And with this, the fact that she was mistreated so badly for just trying to stay on FDA guidelines, I should tell you everything you need to know about this company. I am heartbroken for her. Wow.
Tirelessly to help ensure FDA compliance and unfortunately failed. The workplace was so abusive that I was wrongfully accused of sleeping with Gary Young by one of Young Living's former attorneys, and my name was defamed in meetings. I was called the Black Widow for my choice to wear black clothing, and there is so much discrimination against women in the workplace. I was once told I might be fired for wearing pants and was asked my dress size by one of the executives and was then told, you look way bigger than that. I was instructed.
One, I already have had a problem with this company for years with the culty religious stuff that they've gone about, a Christian-based way. I really don't give a shit what religion you participated in. That's great. Good for you. Don't use it to hurt people. I'm not religious in any way. What I will say is it's very odd to me when they make a company and try to push people to be a part of a religion. That's icky. Don't do that. But I feel like that happened, and I can't even imagine what she experienced. And also, I think the shows too help out how difficult it is to get out of these systems and how hard it is for people to defend themselves, because many people would not know what to do in that situation, right? They'd be like, what do I do? Someone's blaming me for sleeping with this guy. Oh my God, I'm being harassed for my dress size. Like, it happens so frequently in these settings. Now, again, I also want to make it very clear that this happens in many other work settings too. What I'm saying though is there's a major problem with this company in an MLM aspect, but this getting aired out is so significant, and it is something that I am not surprised by though, because if they're as messed up as they are from the basis of what we see, I can't imagine what people who are involved for years have experienced. This is, wow.
To provide models for raindrop techniques that were not fat and good looking. Other female staff members have been criticized for wearing everything from hair extensions to eyelash extensions to too much makeup to too tight of clothing to too loose of clothing. And we have been told that it distracts male staffers. The field leadership continues to harass me. I could have shared messages that their field leadership who say that they have lost so much respect for me, and how MLMs are simply paying leaders to come over. One of their diamonds literally told me to F off in full text in writing. I have never been paid a single penny in any business development agreement or what is commonly called a bridge deal to join any other MLM. Multiple field leaders submitted paperwork to be used against me in federal court. Some of you, I genuinely thought were my friends. We have traveled together, we have spoken together at events, and I now see that you value what I did and not who I am. When Young Living reached an agreement with the Department of Justice for their illegal sourcing of rosewood and spikenard essential oils, I was tasked with helping to remove the products containing those oils from inventory in the London Will Call Center. Prior to the agreements being met with the Department of Justice, I was asked to help smooth things over with the distributor base by making videos claiming that out-of-stock products were due to seasonal variations in essential oil availability. At the time, I didn't know that I was being asked to push a narrative that was patently false. When Mary was writing the D. Gary Young book, I refused to help track down photos of Gary sourcing rosewood with one of Mary's family members who was there at the time. I dissuaded Mary from including them in the book. I also worked with management to help get distillation wastewater dumping removed from Young Living's Flickr account. During my time in London, a Crown Diamond and their partner were both terminated, and a Platinum shot up 2 ranks to Crown Diamond. And this was the first time that I realized and recognized what I believed to be Federal Trade Commission's violations that were taking place right under my nose.
She's talking about the FTC, so she's starting to realize and connect the dots that what was going on in Young Living was a huge violation of the FTC. Now, again, this hasn't been very long that I'm aware of that this has been out. It's important to show, it's important to show to people, hey, this is what's going on, spread the news, and bring awareness to why Young Living is acting the way they do, because the more traction the story gets, the better, honestly, in my opinion. But this is just insane to me about all the stuff that's happening, and we are 7 minutes in.
Later, when an employee of the year was let go for pulling strings to build their spouse to the rank of Platinum, when they departed, they were allowed to keep their organization that was built by orphan placements. I was appalled by the utter disregard of how the compensation plan was being manipulated. Since the departure of multiple senior field leaders, the manipulations and organizations being moved cross-line instead of compressing upward is well documented by my colleagues. More recently, one of the beneficiaries of one of these moves sent in paperwork to be used against me in federal proceedings. And she had no knowledge of how easy it would be to see that she was gifted an organization outside of the policies and procedure.
Here we go. I don't know what is her name. I need to find out. She's spicy. Good fucking job. I'm proud of this woman. This is a big deal. This is so Oh my God, I get so excited when I see people who are brave enough to speak up about this, because it is not easy. It is not easy to air it out, because you can get, I'm not kidding, when you speak out against MLMs, you get death threats, you get harassed, you get crazy shit sent your way. It is not easy to deal with. And so that is a very brave thing for her to do, is to call out such a huge corporation like this. This is amazing. But for her to vocalize the big problems and saying how they were essentially trying to stop her, from what I could see, stop her from exposing this stuff and doing anything to fuck with her because she had major dirt on them, is very insane to me. But again, like, this is something that happens so many times with any MLMs. We've seen that with Monet. Monet literally has had it to where we've literally had no firewall on their back office stuff, and all their data was leaked about how they're a pyramid scheme. We have this right here where people who work for the company are like, hey, this is violating FTC. People are getting handed organizations and just given things, and the compensation plan is being manipulated for those very specific people. It is disgusting to me. Also, I think this is a wonderful example of how truly, again, there's nothing that you can necessarily do to win in these MLMs. A lot of the people that are at the top are at the top because of recruitment, or at the top because they're there. And some people could easily be favored for specific tops of the company. So I am so happy we're airing this out.
We also have seen evidence of Young Living withholding pay from distributors, sometimes in excess of $10,000. We also see movement of product across third-party intermediaries to place products on Amazon, with volume flowing up through distributors, which resulted in them upranking to Royal Crown Diamond. We can simply see that the compensation company-wide is declining, because we can compare the 2016 income disclosure statement to the 2022 income disclosure statement. Furthermore, it's been publicly documented that executives at Young Living have taken pay cuts. And Mary Young stated,
I actually think that a lot can be told by companies' past and previous income disclosure statements
on stage that the company is operating at a loss. Posts in the Diamond Dudes group also stated that most of our team's paychecks have been cut by a significant percentage. And, quote,
fuck you! That entire company has royally screwed people over. I love it. I love it. I hope this company goes down. I do.
Percentage. And, quote, Young Living seems to be very reactive, unquote. And I get nervous, this is also a quote, and I get nervous about how often we have heard Young Living is not going under from corporate recently. As well as, quote, it seems every time we have a negative metric, we start comparing ourselves to other companies and start saying that YL is not doing as bad as them. This doesn't make me feel better, among other statements. Unquote. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about when companies love to lie to you all the time and say, we're fine, we're doing great. We see so many times where there's some actual MLM companies that will mislead you about the product maybe. Talk about how this is the revolutionary product. This will change the industry. We had a leader in Bella Grace do that, actually, talking about how this product, which hardly has any people in the MLM right now, mind you, is going to be like the best beauty product ever. There's no evidence showing that whatsoever. Or even Monet, when they're like, we're the largest hair care, we're the best hair care company and the best skincare company in the world. No, you're not. There's no data proving that either. Same with this as well. There's a lot of stuff and claims that they will make to give the illusion that they're the best out there, that they will do good for you. And they're marketing off the business opportunity as the best out there that can do a lot for you, when clearly they're operating at a loss and they're not doing that good. Good. Young Living has gone through rounds of termination where people were let go without warning, and overseas markets were closed, leaving the distributors without a source of income. Top leadership has left Young Living in part because of declining pay and ethical concerns. There are not only members of their field that are secretly members of other MLMs, but members of their C-suite are customers, as well as people on their sales team. One corporate employee of Young Living's spouse asked for my help supporting their child's fundraisers, who was making recognition bracelets for another MLM. Probably one of the best videos I've reacted to with leaking information about an MLM, I would say, like from someone who used to be highly involved. They're clarifying what we've said for years about any MLM, but especially like Young Living. Many people have been like, this is a cult, this is a scam, this is really bad. And some people are like, no, you're lying, you're crazy. But clearly there's so many issues about this, and especially when it's properly documented. And here's the thing. I truly think with how she's written this out and everything, I truly think she has sent this information to lawyers, for example. She's probably had to deal with lawyers. Therefore, a lot of this stuff probably has been approved
approved by the appropriate people to make sure that she can share this and she's not going to get sued for it. Or if someone tries to sue her, then she'll be fine because it's not defamation if it's true. I think that there's a lot she's airing out that has a lot of basis to it and a lot of substantial evidence. That is insanely intense.
More about what happened in London. Within 2 months of me moving to London, there was a phone call between the general manager of Europe, Gary Young, and a hugely influential field leader, among others. It was told to me that the phone call was so abusive that the general manager resigned, as well as the director of human resources and finance. This left me as the highest ranking person in the office, and I was instructed to hold the office together. For months, I single-handedly ran sales, marketing, events, and education and worked.
Whoa. Okay, so this is reminding me a lot of LuLaRoe. If you guys have not seen it, there's a series on Amazon Prime called LuLaRich. It's incredible. Please watch it. But anyways, what they highlighted in this and what fascinated me so much about the series is they talked about how a lot of people in corporate worked very, very heavily. And you know what's so fascinating about this is with MLMs, they always market it off as how they want to get people free and escape from the 9-to-5 world. In the LuLaRoe series, they were talking about how people were getting stretched thin, people who are unqualified were running certain positions, and some people were running multiple positions at that because they weren't getting properly compensated, but there was not enough help to go around. This, I think, is replicating it because she's saying that she was running a lot of marketing and everything. That is an insane amount of work to do, and I'm sure she didn't get compensated properly for that. Ironic how we have so many different MLMs who have been exposed big time for actually hurting people in the 9-to-5 world, or the people that work for their management or overhead marketing behind the scenes and not the actual MLMer. It's so messed up.
Around the clock to ensure that Young Living remains successful. Despite my tireless efforts to promote and sustain the company, Young Living refused to ever promote me beyond the level of director. Also, during my time in London, I had ignored my distributorship for so long that it was canceled and it had to get reinstated by the then chief financial officer. In December of 2017, I was part of a mass firing of more than 17 people from the London office, including our employee of the year who had to be called in from Christmas vacation to be terminated. The terminations were under the instruction.
That is horrible to do, especially to people who are just got off of Christmas vacation in this economy, in this world, day and age, where the same company promotes family values and being a good person and helping people out.
Directly of Gary Young, as well as heavily weighed into by a Royal Crown Diamond and a hugely influential field leader. Following my termination, I was contracted as a brand ambassador. Young Living claims that I was highly compensated for this role. This is incorrect because during my time as an employee, I was instructed by management to oversee contract negotiations with influencers and speakers who were compensated similarly or massively more than me. One of the contracts that I was instructed to negotiate by management was with a convicted murderer who was paid $5,000 a month to promote Young Living. Through my time as a brand ambassador, I consistently delivered education.
Can I quickly ask, who the hell organized for a murderer to promote Young Living, and why were they a part of the marketing?
At the highest possible levels, made myself available at the drop of a hat to travel to foreign markets, and consistently attracted crowds of thousands. Through my years as a brand ambassador, I helped Young Living sell millions of dollars worth of product, including one event in Monterrey, Mexico, where we sold $4 million in product.
Yeah, this right here is a beautiful example about how MLMs truly don't care about you. Even if you make them a lot of money, most of the time they just do not give a shit. Truly, Young Living doesn't either, but there's many other representations of this throughout the industry that have been showing this type of situation. For example, again, LuLaRoe, even top MLM leaders were not properly compensated and cared for sometimes. Even top leaders, again, depending on the MLM, many top leaders even were completely drained and treated like shit even by the creators of the company because of how money hungry people are. Even with LuLaRoe, I think the CEOs allegedly talked about how they wanted certain people to get specific plastic surgery, get specific designer. It happens so often. This is exactly why I think that these companies are cults. I like this, and oh my God, I'm so happy this is getting aired out, but I'm also so heartbroken because like the amount of people that had to get screwed over for someone to speak out. That's insane to me. That is insane. And I know that there's also so many people too who probably want to speak out, maybe don't have the capacity to, maybe you're too scared because of legal stuff, which I completely respect and understand, or just the fear of harassment and harm. I get it. That's devastating. These companies are scary, dude. These companies can be bad.
We attracted a crowd of 4,000 people. There are instances of my educational talks out of stocking products like Pettigrain. I worked around the clock at Young Living conventions, sometimes being scheduled from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Because of my background in education, I provided credibility to the company with satellite media tours, in written press, on television press, and on social media. I was once told by the Brand Ambassador Program Administrator that without me, there would be no Brand Ambassador Program. During my time as a brand ambassador, I used my own money to build the largest database of Young Living education that existed in the world, and it was called YL.
She paid her own money to help an education system? Exactly. You can sacrifice everything, you can give everything, but at the end of the day, these companies really do not care. Again, I'm going to be very clear though, there's many other companies that are not MLM based that do not give a shit about you. Two things could be true at the same time. What I'm saying though is I think there's a different level of culty scariness that happens with these companies to where it doesn't matter, you need to do it. You need to do it. And also I would like to make this really clear too. Some people might hop in the comments and be like, well, why did she spend that money? I truly think when you're in a cult, you do everything you can to keep the cult going, to do the best that you can, because you think you're getting out on the other side. I think same thing with even toxic relationships. You think it's a bumpy patch, we'll get through it, it'll be fine. It's not that bad. I'm just being sensitive. I feel like those same mentalities apply with this. It's very devastating though, because you can give everything, you can do what you're supposed to do. And when you've been trained for so long to do this because it's good for everyone, I truly think you just do it sometimes. And that's very heartbreaking. Wow.
Ed Club. It encompassed hundreds of product videos, business videos, PowerPoint slide decks, scripts, programs, and more. The Young Living executive team knew of the existence of this website, and we were even in negotiations for Young Living to purchase the platform, and I presented a strategy to diversify it, collect content from key field leaders and employees to make a platform that was appropriate for the entire field. At the end of my brand ambassadorship, we begged for a public statement clarifying that I was no longer affiliated with Young Living, and Young Living refused. For almost 18 months, Young Living knowingly allowed YL Ed Club to continue operations despite concerns from the conduct department that we had no trademark licensing agreement. The executives simply did not want to deal with it and likely knew that the site continued to drive sales for them. Young Living has threatened legal action against me, and their legal pursuits continue despite every reasonable attempt to reach a conclusion with this. They went as far as to sue me in federal court. I maintained my distributorship because it was static and I wasn't growing a business, and I still didn't rank ever even higher than senior star. And I was typically ranking at star or partner. After hearing more of the abuses that Young Living has put their members through in January of 2022, I completely canceled my account, which took great effort. I learned so much more about Young Living, not only terminating distributors who decide to be members of other MLMs, even if just as a customer, but then they will turn around and terminate their entire family. And there are multiple allegations out there of potential compensation plan manipulations where there was not compression as there should have been, as well as allegations of illegal sourcing, false seed to seal marketing claims, and a semi-functional website which makes doing business for partners difficult was simply unconscionable to me.
If we think about like the levels of people that are getting impacted by how horrible Young Living is, we have the top leaders. Let's be real here. You don't have to like all the top leaders because a lot of the top leaders know what they're doing. But what we can say though is that that's their income, right? And with that, stable income. And then all of a sudden it goes bye-bye, or all of a sudden it's completely disappeared, or they terminate someone just because. That is insane to me. That is truly what a cult does. A cult will shun you for interacting with other people. It's an us versus them mentality, completely stripping people of any other connections outside. Wow, this is totally a cult. I truly believe with everything in me it's a cult.
I faced endless questions on social media about Young Living's products, their marketing, and why my relationship is not as it once was. The essential oils that Young Living sells are merely commodities that they import via the same sourcing as not only their MLM competitors, but some of the largest pharmaceutical, cosmetic, and chemical companies.
Fucking knew it. I knew it. Yes! I had too many people in my comment section be like, no, that's wrong. You can't get the same quality of essential oils from anywhere else. I literally said, go to Walmart, go to Amazon. Like, you can find a lot of really great stuff. You don't have to go from Young Living. Then you're like, you're a liar. You can't get the same stuff. Yeah.
These are documented in public record through companies like
Even better. Documented. Publicly recorded. That's right. That's right. Because see, their products are simply just a commodity. They're just there, right? That's what happens with so many MLMs. The products are just there. They're just existing. And they're there to make it to where it's harder to prove that they are a pyramid scheme because there's products that are there.
Through companies like Import Key, Import Yeti, and Import Report. I have also expressed concerns throughout my career about some of the ingredients and the quality of the ingredients. When Master Formula was launched, I highly questioned the inclusion of PABA, which is a known toxin that is poisonous to the kidneys and the liver and has very little legitimate medical use. There was an article that came out in 2015 where Walmart was accused of putting sand in their products. And despite railing on stage against Walmart for including the sand in their supplements, Gary Young would not admit that so too did Master Formula, Allerzyme.
I love when this shit happens. Oh my God, she is dragging them. Love it. I love when someone comes out from a company and says, guess what? I am proud of this woman. This is so intensely beautiful to see how she is airing it out. But a gorgeous example of why most of these companies, this is exactly why I call them out. This is exactly why I say they're unethical. There's a problem. I do not trust the ingredients. Or you can find identical products anywhere else. You can go, you don't need to spend money and crazy amounts of money at that through the MLM products.
Life 9 also contains silica as a flow agent. And for years, I attempted to correct these false claims. There are so many ingredients in Young Living supplements that are potentially allergenic. There's wheat germ oil in the carrier oils, nightshades in Master Formula, Ninja Red, Ninja Nitro, Ninja Zing, Mighty Vite, Sleek Shake, Whey Protein and Pure Protein Complete, Milk and Soy in Balance Complete, Milk in Ninja Nitro, Soy in Endogize, Bromelain in the digestive enzymes, bee pollen and Mineral Essence and Essential Zymes 4, etc., etc., etc. There are animal-based products in some of the products as well. Despite one Young Living Royal Crown Diamond critiquing publicly another MLM's protein powder for containing natural flavors, so too does Balance Complete and Sleek Shake. There are added sugars in multiple products, and some foreign markets refuse to even accept their products because there's so much added sugar. Omegagize contains tilapia as the source of fish oil, which is regarded by some as low quality because the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids is pro-inflammatory in some people. The concentration of essential oils were so high inside the oil capsules of Master Formula, Sleep Essence, and Inner Defense that gastrointestinal side effects were reported to me regularly. For years, I advocated for label changes on Thiamin because when the dose was labeled at 2 capsules per day, the dose of iodine was right at the FDA's tolerable upper intake limit, and iodine is not a benign supplement when taken in excess. Pregnenolone and dihydroepiandrosterone in PD8020 are some of the highest that I have seen in my entire career, and I could go on. The bottom line, I was an employee of Young Living. I was fired. I was then a brand ambassador. My contract was not renewed. Almost 2 years later, Young Living has sent multiple threats of legal action. They have refused offers to resolve this matter and have sued me in federal court. The bottom line is, you never know you're in a cult until you try to leave. I have tried for more than 2 years to move on. And Young Living...
That is such a powerful statement. You never know you're in a cult until you try and leave. And I think that's when so many people wake up to MLMs is when they have such a huge involvement with it. And then they're like, oh shit, I'm getting mistreated. Like, this is bad. No one cares about me anymore when I leave. That's such a true statement though, but it's heartbreaking. Like, she has tried to get away from this. She has tried to stop and keep, and I'm sure they were threatening her because she was involved. She had a hand in everything. She had a hand in so much data. She has enough to fuck them, I'm sure. But that's scary though for her. I can't even imagine. That's a lot of effort to try and stay away. But honestly, at the end of the day, I'm sure that there's a lot of evidence to prove that she is totally good. I mean, again, I don't know her case or situation, but all I'm saying is if she has access to all this data, and if it's true, then that's a pretty clear court case, I would say, of proving that what they're doing is wrong and she did not do anything wrong, and nor did she violate a contract, especially if she's not a part of it, and nor did she renew it.
I simply will not let me go. Please, please, Young Living, let me go and stop this personal attack. I am not fair game. My name is Dr. Lindsay Elmore. I'm a board-certified pharmacist, a functional medicine clinician, a speaker, an author, an entrepreneur, a yoga instructor, and a world-renowned wellness expert. I have a bachelor's in chemistry from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, a doctorate in pharmacy from the University of California, San Francisco. I teach people that everything heals, that we all deserve to be healthy and free. And I teach people how we can break out of traditional models and address the root cause of what is calling us out of health. Everything heals. My legal battle with Young Living is public record. You can look it up.
She is fed up. Damn, I need to look into that. All I gotta say is that was a very powerful video. I know that must have been very hard for her to deal with. I can't even imagine how exhausting it must feel trying to get away from something and even years after not being left alone by it. That's terrifying. But I'm going to say is I don't know her. I don't know her situation and everything. I've only pretty much met her virtually through this video. That's it. But this is a wonderful example of what happens in cults, what happens with MLMs, how horrible Young Living is, and how so many times even people who have huge involvement with these companies, you can get in major shit because you don't want to have anything to do with them anymore. And that is a very toxic environment. That was it for today's video. Comment down below what you guys thought. I'm sure your guys' minds are just blown just like mine right now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay glowing, my beautiful queens. Love you. Bye.